Welcome to BWC News. I am Elizabeth. Nowadays, with the continuous development of technology, the importance of chips for every country is self-evident. Since the trade war in 2018, chips have been the main area of exchange between China and the US. In October last year, the Biden administration enacted the chip bill, deciding to cut off the supply of microchips used by China for advanced computing and other microchips, and restricting the export of chips as well as chip manufacturing equipment from US companies to China, and asking other allies to follow. The US restricts China's chip development. Recently, the US even began to pull Japan and the Netherlands to join the ranks of the restrictions on chip exports to China, and ultimately Japan and the Netherlands still did not resist US pressure. According to reports, on January 27, the US has reached a consensus with Japan and the Netherlands on limiting the export of advanced chip manufacturing machinery to China, and to complete negotiations on the relevant new restrictions within a short period of time. According to the plan proposed by the US side, the two countries of Japan and the Netherlands will extend the export controls introduced by the US to China last decade to their own companies, after which both ASML of the Netherlands and Nikon of Japan will be banned by their governments to restrict the sale of advanced lithography machines to China. Although the Netherlands sided with the United States, but ASML also issued a warning, the company's head Peter Wen said that the US-led export control measures on China's chips, in a way to advance the Chinese side to accelerate the process of independent research and development. If the West continues to pressure China, then the Chinese side will use a shorter time to develop advanced photolithography. Now the Dutch lithography machine occupies more than 60% of the global market. There is a significant impact on China's semiconductor industry. Before that, the Netherlands and Japan have also been resisting the US government's attempts to drag them into the system of sanctions against China, because they know very well that the side of the United States will certainly lose the huge Chinese market, then will lose a lot. It is reported that Japan's largest semiconductor equipment manufacturer, Tokyo Electron, recently received about 25% of its revenue from China. At the same time, the EU is also adding fuel to the fire. A few days ago, the EU Internal Market Commissioner Breton publicly stated that the EU will cooperate with the United States in the field of semiconductors against China, while he stressed that the EU fully agrees to deprive the Chinese side of access to high-end chips, cannot let the Chinese side easily access the most advanced technology. It can be seen that now the Chinese side has been blocked by Europe and the United States, so we have long been no hope for these countries. Iron needs its own hard, although independent research and development of chips is a difficult road, but China now has no choice but to rely on their own development to survive. I believe that the next Chinese side will continue to increase in the chip. I believe that the next Chinese side will continue to increase investment in chip-related areas, in the field of photolithography and semiconductor, to achieve greater tension, so that the US and Western conspiracy bankruptcy. China also immediately took countermeasures against the West, and is now considering an export ban to protect China's substantial dominance in the solar manufacturing industry. China's Ministry of Commerce and Ministry of Science and Technology are seeking public comment on including some key manufacturing methods for producing advanced solar silicon wafers in their list of technologies banned from export. Silicon wafers are ultra-thin silicon cubes that can be spliced together to form solar cells, and China accounts for 97% of global production. Western countries enjoy cost-effective solar power services from China on one side, but are imposing sanctions on China on the other, which China will never allow, and now more and more countries are starting to pay more attention to solar energy and other related industries, so China can also take this opportunity to take on the West neck and launch a counterattack against the West's malicious sanctions. Today's international community only interests are constant. The Netherlands and Japan, these countries against China, will have to pay the price for their actions. The next will also be sure to lose a large number of lithography orders and huge profits, and against the United States, China should also make a counterattack. In recent months, the Chinese side has sold 210.8 billion US bonds, now holding US debt left $870 billion. The Chinese side of the sale of US debt is also imperative. The dollar hegemony from the collapse of the countdown has entered, since the United States to tear with China, then China will not show mercy. It's the end of this video. Thank you for watching. Please subscribe to the channel to support. See you next time.